now it's time for the Roundtable to drop some gems.
Hello and welcome to the season premiere of the Roundtable. I'm Ivana Bolonga.
I'm Brianna Johnson.
I'm Justice Johnson.
And I'm Nzinga Barnett.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Texas abortion ban that has just been passed that says a woman cannot get an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy.
Right, and most women don't even know that they're pregnant until about 4 weeks. It's crazy to me because some women have pre-existing conditions. Black women, for example, are more prone to have preeclampsia and other complications during pregnancy. I mean, it's not an easy decision.
Yeah.
This ban, it does nothing more than take away resources when Texas should be supplying the state with resources. When you think about those that are affected by unplanned pregnancies, you're thinking of the Black community and also the Latino community as being most affected. So as this ban takes away resources by making abortion clinics being, from about 12 miles away from each other to about 248 miles away from each other, you're telling people that you don't really have any access or control over your own health care, and that if you want to gain that control back, you're going to have to leave the state.
Absolutely, and I think it's also important to note that this is almost a total abortion ban. This law excludes anyone who's been a victim of incest as well as rape. So virtually anyone in the state of Texas will not have the proper access to abortion that they need. And we also know that minority communities and women of color are also more likely to be victims or experience crimes such as these.
It truly is almost a total abortion ban because almost 8 out of 10 people who are seeking an abortion will not be able to get it. And another important point that we have to acknowledge is that 42% of unintended pregnancies actually ended in abortion. And it's important for us to acknowledge that because we have higher rates of unintended pregnancies in our communities. And so it just comes down to those structural inequalities that we face, and it's something that we really have to, take care of. But speaking of Texas, they have also decided that critical race theory should no longer be taught in K through 12 schools, which is crazy to me.
It's crazy. I mean, racism itself is a problem. It doesn't go away. And the more you're educated about it, the more you can attack it.
Exactly. If we're educating white people on exactly what critical race theory is, there are so many phenomenons on what the actual meaning of it is. But people will focus on the fact that, oh, because I'm white, you're blaming me for what happened in the past. But that's not exactly what it is. It's showing you how this happened in the past by the specific racial group, and it is your job, by being a part of that racial group, to better rectify the future for us that we're living in right now.
Yes.
Absolutely. And if we're not willing to teach critical race theory, that means that we're not willing to at least get to the tip of the iceberg and teach where racism stems from, how it's been embedded into our legal systems, and how it's affected our country as a whole. If we're not willing to address that, then we're not willing to address any of the other amounts of racism, discrimination, and injustice in our country.
Absolutely. And in regard to these students, I just think it's so insanely important for kids to know their history. Not only white kids, but especially African American kids, because they are never really going to know their entire history because so much of it has been erased and taken away from them. And these kids are the future leaders of our nation. They have to know what happened in the past in order for us to progress as a country. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. We'll see you in the next episode.